The film is set in a tragic America, where a lethal pandemic has spread through a few northern states. The abnormal thing about this pandemic is that any individual who talks will bite the dust. A news report shows realistic pictures of certain individuals that fell casualties to the pandemic. In another video, a frightened lady is seen recording herself while inside a vehicle. Her girl's mouth has been taped off so she doesn't shout, and the lady is holding a sign which specifies, "Don't make clamor." Because of this, the public authority has pronounced a highly sensitive situation, while recommending everybody to remain inside and switch off their telephones. Only a couple of days after the fact, the pandemic has as of now crushed pieces of the country. In an underground metro, there's blood and dead bodies all over the place. The enduring travelers have taken shelter inside train carriages, anxiously expecting the disaster to end. Out of nowhere, a child begins crying and his mom neglects to make him stop. Scared of the commotion, a gathering of travelers continue to remove the child from the train, however the mother chooses to leave with him. Unfortunately, her choice ends up being lethal as in a matter of seconds, something gets up to speed to them. Following this, the film rewinds back to the time where everything began. A gathering of archaeologists are digging through strange caverns in Pennsylvania, 1,000 feet underneath the Appalachian Path. They come across an enormous never-seen-before dim chamber. Furthermore, start to celebrate. Notwithstanding, out of nowhere, they hear peculiar commotions coming from inside it. In a modern-day miracle, the scientists come in during an onslaught by obscure flying animals who right away kill them and fly out of the mine. The film then, at that point, slices to a secondary school in Montclair, New Jersey. A hard-of-hearing young person named Partner Andrews is hanging tight for a transport when she understands that a bundle of douches are deriding her for being hard of hearing. She disregards them and chooses to stroll back home. Partner lost her ability to hear in a fender bender 3 quite a while back. She likewise lost her fatherly grandparents in the accident. She speaks with others through gesture-based communication, lip perusing and talking. In the meantime, a person named Burglarize appears and offers to walk her home. The two of them have eyes only for one another, however consistently miss the mark concerning letting it be known. At work, Partner's dad, Hugh, gets a call from his significant other, Kelly, who illuminates him that their little girl was again tormented at school. This upsets him, be that as it may, there's very little he can do about it. Since Partner lost her hearing skill, Hugh and Kelly have become extremely defensive of their girl and frequently have quarrels over it. Partner lives with her folks, sibling, Jude, and terminally sick maternal grandma Lynn. The Andrews family likewise have a pet canine, Otis. Around evening time, Ransack sends Partner an intriguing video of a province of what resembles bats flying someplace. At 3 a.m., Kelly awakens Partner and asks her to come first floor. She sees that her whole family is in the front room, stuck to the television, looking stressed. All windows are shut and the chimney has been covered by plastic. The television is revealing that few U.S. urban communities are enduring an onslaught by an unexplored world, types of pterosaur-like animal, alluded to as vesps. They were released onto mankind when a few scientists impacted through the antiquated rockfall that was fixed off for a long period of time. The animals can kill a human in practically no time and use clamor to find their prey. Along these lines, the U.S. government has pronounced a highly sensitive situation, also requested that individuals stay inside and calm. As everybody watches the news with sickening dread, Partner recommends that they head to the open country, as it is calmer and more secure. Hugh concurs, and everybody begins pressing their effects. One of Hugh's companions, Glenn, likewise goes along with them, and together, they set out for the open country. Afterward, Partner and her family stop at a gas station to refuel their vehicles. She utilizes the chance to take Otis out to pee while Hugh attempts to keep his child Jude engaged. Abruptly, he hears Partner shouting, also rapidly rushes to her. A man has held her at gunpoint and is requesting keys to Hugh's vehicle. Hugh continues to agree, yet Glenn makes an appearance to his salvage and messes the looter up. Unnerved, the Andrews take the man's firearm and drive away, passing on the looter to be killed by the animals. In any case, before they could get far, the gathering goes over an enormous gridlock that is impeding every one of the interstate parkways. Glenn proposes another option and they go rough terrain. While passing through the open country, Glenn unexpectedly goes over a group of escaping deers. He rapidly turns his vehicle to stay away from a crash, however winds up tumbling down the dike. The Andrews quickly go to beware of him, and think that he is alive. Tragically, he is caught inside the vehicle. The family takes a stab at all that to save Glenn, utilizing a nut wrench to open the entryway, furthermore, calling 911, yet nothing works. Finally, Glenn understands that he is at last going to drain out, so he requests that Hugh give him his firearm also, leave with his loved ones. Upset, Hugh would rather not leave his closest companion alone, yet for his family, he concurs. Tragically, similarly as the family is going to leave, Otis detects something and starts yapping over and over. This draws in the Vesps and they assault the vehicle with colossal force. At the point when all trust is by all accounts lost, Glenn, who is as yet caught inside the vehicle, begins shooting his weapon to bait the animals towards him. He figures out how to save the Andrews briefly, yet winds up dead all the while. This time, Otis keeps on yelping. Consequently, left with no decision, Hugh goes with the hard choice and lets the canine out of their vehicle to kick the bucket. The Andrews then, at that point, understand that they can't drive away in that frame of mind without drawing in the Vesps, so they choose to leave it. Hugh lights his vehicle ablaze to occupy the Vesps and sets out by walking with his family to track down a safe house. They stroll for quite a long time and Lynn battles to stay aware of her hacking, putting the family in danger. Before supper, the family goes over a disengaged house encompassed by a high wall, furthermore, locked door. At the point when they have a go at getting in, the entryway makes a commotion and draws in the Vesps. Before long, the property holder likewise emerges with a firearm, apparently ignorant about the ongoing circumstance. She has a go at compromising the gatecrashers, yet the Vesps quickly swarm her and tear her separated. After the episode, Hugh checks out the property for a substitute exit and goes over a Tempest Channel burrow that leads into the compound. He wanders into the property first to make sure it's protected. Subsequent to getting a green sign from Hugh, partner and others enter the passage. However, inside, Jude goes over a diamondback, which makes him shout and draw in the Vesps. The Vesps kill the snake, however they too nibble Kelly's leg. With time expiring, Hugh rapidly works a branch shredder to divert the animals and shreds them to death. In the following scene, the family at last enters the house and cleans Kelly's injuries. Previously hitting the sack, partner contacts Burglarize and finds out that his folks have been killed by the animals. Stressed, she requests that he get out of the city, however before Ransack can answer, the call separates. In the meantime, in the midst of all the confusion and sadness, a strict faction is on the ascent that is looking for newcomers and killing non-devotees. The following day, Lynn again inspects Kelly's injuries, furthermore, discovers that it is tainted. Understanding that the wound will keep on spreading without antitoxins, Hugh goes out to view as a clinical store with partner. In the wake of strolling quietly for an hour, they run over an abandoned city and look for a clinical store. At last, they find one, yet it is dim, abandoned and smelling of spoiled tissue. As Hugh gathers the medication, partner sees Vesp eggs developing inside the human carcasses lying around the store. She incidentally makes a few commotion and cautions the animals. Presently, the team is stuck inside the store with a few Vesps. Luckily, Hugh thinks about an arrangement. He quietly lights a mop ablaze and enacts the alarm. The commotion from the alarm and water sprinkler occupy the animals, and the father-girl couple figures out how to escape safe. Outside, they are moved toward by a reverend, who appears to have cut his tongue. It ends up, he is the head of the clique that is going around enrolling individuals and killing the non-devotees. The reverend inquires them to join his run, however Hugh declines and leaves. They figure out how to get back securely with anti-infection agents and Kelly starts to recuperate. The following day, partner approaches Hugh and illuminates him that she watched the news around evening time, which expressed that the Vesps can't stand extraordinary chilly climate. Subsequently, individuals over the icy circle are getting by. She likewise tells him about locales called the Dark. These are where power has gone out and individuals are being cut off from the world when the battery of their telephones and PCs are biting the dust. It is as though the dim ages have shown up once more. Sometime thereafter, the Reverend and his faction individuals appear at Hugh's hideaway. He again asks Hugh to join their faction, however again gets turned down. As Hugh continues to return inside, the Reverend stops him and keeps in touch with him a frightening note, saying, "The young lady is prolific." Hugh looks them all over and returns inside. The Reverend and his faction individuals accept Hugh will get his girl for them, however he gets back with a damn rifle, all things being equal. Notwithstanding, the crazy people are unfazed as they probably are aware Hugh won't shoot them, which would make an uproarious commotion and endanger his loved ones. Regardless of this, Hugh takes the well-being of the rifle off and the faction individuals at long last disappear. Sometime thereafter, partner receives a message from Lute. He tells her that he is going north of the country to the asylum. It is a place where individuals can be protected from the animals. In any case, before partner will inquire him more about it, she loses her telephone signal. At 12 p.m., Hugh and Kelly awaken to clamors coming from outside. He snatches his rifle and checks the fundamental entryway while Kelly awakens Lynn and Jude. Hugh doesn't see anybody on the entryway. Notwithstanding, at the point when Jude checks the entryway, he sees a bit young lady his age remaining outside. The young lady looks apprehensive, so Kelly chooses to give her access. Stressed, the Andrews family gives her a warm cover and asks her how she arrived, yet, the young lady doesn't answer. Just then, at that point, Kelly sees a few scars on the young lady's jaw and Hugh assesses her mouth. An amazing miracle, the young lady doesn't have a tongue. She is a part of the Reverend's clique and doubtlessly sent by him. The Andrews family have been set up. They actually take a look at her midriff and understand that she has been lashed with different cell phones. In the meantime, partner awakens in her room and takes note of telephone taped to a cross on her window. The telephone caution abruptly begins to go off and draws in the animals, cracking partner out. The telephones lashed to the young lady additionally begin to go off. Furthermore, the family scrambles to take them off. Hugh dumps the telephones in water while partner runs into the parlor. As everything is going on, the animals begin breaking their windows. Hugh and Jude attempt to keep the vesps out while partner and others go into the cellar to stow away. Sadly, covered faction individuals had been sitting tight for partner, and they get her from the cellar. Kelly goes after the men, yet they kick her into the wall, wrecking her. The men complete partner and the young lady additionally goes with them. Maddened, Lynn leaves the well-being of the house and follows the men outside. She gets two of the three men and signs partner to escape. The young lady obliges, and when she arrives at a peace far, Lynn, who is as yet holding the clique individuals, begins shouting as loud as possible. This ultimately draws in the vesps and they tear the three people to pieces. The remainder of the family likewise comes outside, yet all they can do is watch with sickening dread. All at once, the Reverend appears and steals partner. Previously leaving, he even insults Hugh to remain quiet. Nonetheless, exploiting the downpour, Hugh, Kelly and Jude unobtrusively follow them, and send off an unexpected assault. An incensed Hugh chokes the faction chief with the rifle, however the Reverend wounds him with a blade in the midsection. Nonetheless, Hugh gathers his entire existence and again gets back up. He utilizes his late dearest companion, Glenn's work of art headbutt and wrecks the faction chief as Kelly takes the other faction individuals out. She then, at that point, helps her significant other by removing the blade from his midriff. The Reverend endeavors to get up, yet Hugh again gets on his case. This time, he pounds the clique chief to death with the rifle. After the experience, the Andrew family get back while the speechless young lady leaves with her mom. Following this, the film quick advances by half a month, where the family is seen journeying through the country. They at long last show up at the place of refuge that is the asylum. In the last scene, partner and Ransack are hunting vesps in the backwoods. The film closes as partner puzzles over whether the vesps will adjust to the cold and assuming the people will adjust to the existence of quiet, as she did when she lost her hearing.